Now on Denver 7 News at 5, the start of the school year is days away, and the CDC is about to make a big change in its COVID guidance for kids.
It was akin to what I would probably consider to be like medieval torture.
Yeah, painting a painful picture of monkeypox, what we expect to learn about the government's response today and the other controlled virus spreading across the country.
And one Colorado community finding hope amid the flames.
To me, that was the best thing out of this whole rotten tragedy.
The heartwarming response from one Aurora neighborhood amid a devastating fire forcing families out of their homes, and
thought, oh, we'll go for a swim, it'll be nice and cool.
Yeah, a nice relaxing day at the pool came with an unexpected surprise when this mom-to-be went into labor. Who came to her aid to deliver the baby right there on deck? I was a lifeguard. That was my first job. That's not in the training manual, but this teenager handled it a lot better than I would have, and I'm happy for them. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Jessica Crawford, and we're tossing it over to Katie now. Katie, you're wearing a bright sunny dress for a bright sunny day?
Hey guys, yeah, good morning. It's dark outside still, but yes, it is going to be a lot of sunshine we experience this Thursday morning. Temperatures are starting off in the high 60s, low 70s over the metro area. Do expect the heat to build this afternoon. It's going to be a hot one out there once again. Upper 90s for highs today and tomorrow, with just a few isolated thunderstorms possible, mainly spots like South Park, our southern foothills, and the Palmer Divide. Temperatures outside right now, we're in the 60s, Arvada up through Boulder and Broomfield. Your pool forecast for today, expect those temperatures to heat to the around 90 degrees by noon, and a few isolated thunderstorms possible, mainly between 3 and 6 p.m. Your highs today, Lone Tree getting down to 93, same into Centennial, upper 90s, Congress Park out through Brighton. And as mentioned, most of the moisture will stay off to the west and south of Denver for today, and even hotter tomorrow, Jason.
And right now the drive is looking pretty good with those warm temperatures. Overnight we have good road conditions and good conditions for construction, and we've had plenty of it, including here in the foothills. We had some road work here on that eastbound side of I-70 here at Genesee. You still see some of the trucks that are lined up here on the side, but lanes are open. I'm not seeing any delays up there. The one delay I am seeing is going to be down here on the southeast side of town. It's at Colorado Boulevard and Mississippi, where we've had a water main break early this morning, so we are going to have some lane restrictions in there as they've shut up the water and started making repairs for us here today. The rest of the drive looks pretty nice south side. Take a look at I-70 out to the east side of town. Looks like they wrapped up all that work going down through that lowered section. Still a lot of work on the westbound side to go, and that north side moving along just fine.
Well, the first local school districts head back to class here in just a matter of days, just as the CDC is expected to update its COVID-19 guidance. And as a parent, we want to make sure we know the protocols and recommendations to keep our kids safe. So Denver 7's Colette Bordelon is live with a breakdown of what this will mean for teachers and students.
I'm live in Highlands Ranch outside of Sand Creek Elementary School. This is part of Douglas County School District. They're the first district heading back to school this year. I'm sorry, kids. I mean, school starts on Monday right around the corner. And this is a school district where the fight over masking actually led the county to the dissolution of a regional health department that had been in place for more than 50 years. DougCo updated its COVID plans in January and notes the old CDC guidance that will soon be outdated. CNN got a preview of the expected plans from the CDC. They report it'll ease quarantine recommendations for people exposed to COVID and will not have such an emphasis on the 6 feet rule for social distancing. It could also remove a recommendation that came during that first Omicron wave where students exposed would take regular tests to remain in the classroom. There's also an expected push for schools to focus on their ventilation, encouraging more clean air inside of buildings. Now those changes, they're still being worked on, meaning they're not final as of this morning. CNN reports the changes could be publicly released by this week though. Of course, different cities, states, and districts can follow different plans. The CDC's recommendations are only guidance. Now, this is the first year where those COVID-19 vaccines are available for all school-age children. Here in Douglas County, those vaccines are not required for students or staff. Live in Highlands Ranch, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Colette, thank you. At 9 o'clock, the Department of Homeland Security will give an update on how the Biden administration is responding to the monkeypox outbreak. More than 25,000 cases have been reported globally. About a quarter of those are right here in the U.S., including 5 children. While health experts are still learning more about the disease, they do know it's contagious through skin-to-skin contact, and they recommend not sharing objects with an infected person and to wash your hands often. Symptoms include headaches, rashes, and blisters. Kyle Benter is recovering from the disease.
It was akin to what I would probably consider to be like medieval torture because it was so long, it was unending.
Most of the monkeypox cases so far have been mainly in men who have sex with men, though health officials warn against a growing stigma associated with the LGBTQ+ community. While the White House has yet to declare it a national emergency, President Biden appointed 2 top federal officials to oversee the nation's monkeypox response. 12,000 doses of the current monkeypox vaccine have been allocated for Colorado, while more than 1 million have been distributed across the U.S. Moderna is considering creating a new monkeypox vaccine with its mRNA technology. We've heard so much about that during the COVID pandemic, while the company's president says it's in early research stages right now. There have been 75 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Colorado this year, and of those, 55 are in Denver. Denver's Department of Public Health is monitoring monkeypox exposure at the Diamond Cabaret. Health officials say the strip has been fully cooperative throughout the process. They confirmed a case of monkeypox in mid-July and have notified staff members who've had close contact with an infected employee.
Families are still out of their homes this morning after a huge fire in Aurora. This happened on Whitaker Drive, just a few blocks from the Quincy Reservoir. It is in an older neighborhood with large trees that have been growing for years, towering over the homes. But neighbors said yesterday the flames even towered over the trees, and you can see the amount of damage it did to these homes. Robert Lees is the one that called 911 as he and others tried to save each other.
I also grabbed my hose, I turned it on, I just started getting stuff wet. I'm like, whatever it takes, you know, to help stop whatever. I'm going to do that part. Other neighbors are breaking into the homes, knocking down doors, trying to make sure everyone is okay. To me, that was the best thing out of this whole rotten tragedy, was to see how the community came together and really helped each other out.
And that is the message that Leeds wants other Colorado neighborhoods to take from this situation. Aurora fire investigators will be in this neighborhood for a while to determine how the fire started.
And this morning, we're hearing from one of the victims in a horrifying hate crime in Aurora. A man tried to set people on fire because they were speaking Spanish. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is digging into how common crimes like this are. And Veronica, you're also breaking down that dramatic interview. But first, how are those people doing?
Well, as you can imagine, both of those men, they're actually friends. They're still really shaken up about what happened on that night. They're both actually from Colombia. They've only been in the U.S. for about 4 months, and they came here to try and expand a business that they have back at home. That stop at that gas station in Aurora, it was supposed to be a really quick one, just stop and fill up, but that's really not what happened. Instead, one of those victims, the one that I spoke with, he was doused in gasoline, he had his car keys stolen, even a rock thrown through his back window. And the gas station employee who rolled into work just as that suspect was leaving, he was shocked and upset when he went to that back room and saw that surveillance video of everything that had happened.
I play music in the store most of the time in Spanish. I speak Spanish to most of the customers, and for them to feel or see that, you know, someone got poured gas on them for just speaking Spanish is very, very frightening, you know.
And unfortunately, this isn't the first time something like this has happened in Aurora. Police department there actually told us that they've set up a bias-motivated unit. They did that last year to investigate hate crimes and arrest the people who commit them. So take a look at this. Over the last 6 months of last year, just under 20 hate crimes were reported to Aurora PD. These included crimes against a person's race, as well as sexual orientation. This year, those numbers are even higher. Aurora police have responded to 23 hate crimes. This is just in the last 7 months. As for the suspect in that gas station attack, police say they still really do need your help identifying who this man is and, of course, finding him as well. Here he is on your screen. Police say he took off in that dark sedan, and they're asking again for anyone's help. So if you do know this man, police are asking you give him a call. Their phone number is 303-627-1661. You can also send them an email over at stophate@auroragov.org. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. Today would be a great day to explore Rocky Mountain National Park. It is free to visit any national park today to celebrate the Great American Outdoors Act. And hiking in the park just got a little more accessible. You can now rent an all-terrain wheelchair for free. This is what it looks like. It has off-road wheels, levered handles, and then push handles on the back if friends need to assist you. You can reserve the wheelchair by calling the Estes Park Mountain Shop. Be on the lookout for Rocky Ford melons at your grocery store or farmer's market coming soon. Farmers in southern Colorado say their cantaloupes had a great season, and the watermelon season got off to a slower start, so those will be in stores here in the next few weeks. The famous fruits are known to have sweeter flavors compared to other melons.
We've all heard the stories or experienced them ourselves of flights being canceled unexpectedly and travel nightmares waiting in airports to figure out our next steps. Well, the new policy from the federal government that could make rescheduling easier. Plus,
it's definitely an eye-opening experience.
This high school senior has quite a summer story to tell, how her lifeguard skills were put to the test when a woman went into labor on the pool deck.